Hey, what's up y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is FinestXI, and in this video I'm going to show you some level 1 loadouts that I myself would use coming into Tarkov as a new player. And just to make this more legit, I'm going to hop on my secondary account where I am level 1, and as a bonus it's just a standard account, so no extra starting items at all. Let's get into it. All right, so this isn't going to be like a true complete beginner's guide, but I do want to make this as legit as possible. That's why I'm actually starting here from the main menu. I want you guys to see the whole process. I won't dive too deep into things that don't relate to being a level 1 and choosing your loadouts, but you know, I'll try and be as helpful as I can while also being as quick as I can and efficient. So all right, so like I said, as you can see, this is me opening up this account for the very first time. I guess the name I had last time I was on this account was Standards Finest. Why not just keep it that way? That's totally fine with me. So on my main account, I am a USEC. If you want to watch me game on that account, come stop by twitch.tv/FinestXI anytime. You can catch me over there, you know, often. We stream a lot of Tarkov. Come hang out with us sometime. But on this account, I want to go Bear just to play the other end of the spectrum and just experience some different guns as well, because now USEC and Bear start out with different guns and different equipment. Bear get the AK and USEC get the M4. So we're gonna go Bear on this account. Okay, so here we are in our standard account, level 1. This is the very beginning of everything that you get. To get 500,000 rubles on a standard, this is the loadout that is already on my person at the time of starting this whole thing up. And then as you can see in my inventory, we have some stuff as well. I'll quickly go over what we're given here at level 1 and talk about why it's actually really good and really helpful, especially compared to what we used to get on our old accounts before they updated the starting items. So this starting loadout that they put on you right here at level 1 is actually quite legit. So start here at the top left, the contacts. What this is going to do is it's going to help you hear enemy footsteps better and more efficiently and at a farther distance. So earpieces in this game, that is their objective. They help you hear better in Tarkov. Wonderful to have. I would always wear one if possible. The cap isn't going to do anything but make us look cool. It has no protection whatsoever, no armor at all. The P.A.C.A. is the level 1, class 2 armor, but don't let that fool you. It is a 1 as far as what it protects against. It does not do much in Tarkov, but it is what you get access to at the very beginning of the game, so it's better than nothing. It's pretty much rated to stop like 9mm and some buckshot and stuff like that from scavs from the AI players in the game, but it really won't do much against anything else. So that is the body armor we're given. As far as the AK goes, the AK-74M, it's just, you know, there's a lot of AK variants in Tarkov, and this is just a good one. It's not modified whatsoever, but it does come with one mag in the gun and then 3 extra here. And I think we even have some more. Yep, we have a whole nother AK with 4 mags in the inventory as well. So this is a great gun, full auto, wonderful gun there. The ammo we're given is called the 545 PS, and now this isn't exactly great, but starting out you're never going to get really that good of ammo, so PS will do. It doesn't penetrate armor very well, but if you get some good headshots in there, you usually will be able to take out your opponent. Anyway, moving on to these strange things, including this slice of craft cheese. This is a med kit, but it's one of the weakest, most inefficient med kits in all of Tarkov. It heals HP, but it does not heal bleeds or anything else. This splint is for fractures, which you will receive by jumping off of things that are too high. You land, you break your ankles, you get a fracture. Painkillers will allow you to run on blacked out or fractured legs at full speed with no mobility loss. Painkillers are very efficient, very effective. And bandages will be for stopping light bleeds, not heavy bleeds though, and there is a difference. I'll get into that momentarily. Moving down here, we get the Baracuda backpack. It's a nice spacious backpack at level 1. It includes some water, a lunchbox, and extra PS ammo. So right off the bat, here's what I'm going to say. All these meds are important, and I would definitely keep them on me at any given time, but we can be a little more efficient with it. For example, this cheese and this bandage, each of these do a singular job. Well, this car med kit does both of these things. It will stop light bleeds and it will heal HP up to 220 HP. So this car med kit is already better for us to take besides the AI2 and the bandage. And so real quick, if you guys are not familiar already, the alpha container, the pouch slot, whatever you have in here, whether you're standard, EOD, or anything in between, the container you have here, anything inside of this container, when you die, you will not lose. That's why you can utilize this from level 1 and put things in there that are going to be necessary every single round, and you can be more efficient and save money that way. For example, I'm going to keep this car medkit in here. That way, in case I get damaged, in case I take any damage, if I get a light bleed, I can tap right click here and hit use. Or if I get damaged and need to heal up, I can do the same thing. And if we die, we get to keep this for the next round, so it's not wasted. Whereas if we kept it in our rig here, if we died, it would just be gone. So that's why you want to keep something like this in your secure container. And I'll take it a step further as well. I would go ahead and keep a set of painkillers in here as well. To be honest with you, at level 1, this is so generous of them, and I swear it used to be so much worse. This Vaseline is a 10 charge painkiller. Each charge lasts for 300 seconds. That is 5 minutes. You can go ahead and keep this inside your secure container and be set. Anytime you take any damage to your leg or get a fracture or black out your leg, pop a Vaseline charge, and for 5 minutes you will have full mobility and you will have no issues running on that leg. You will take damage running on a blacked out or broken leg, but at least you have mobility. And so the very last thing that I would put in my secure container right off the bat is a splint, because a fracture, even though if you use a Vaseline, use a painkiller, you can move on a fracture at full speed, they're still very annoying and you want to take care of those as fast as possible. So if you get a fracture, right click, use the splint, and there you go. So this actually, our secure container now covers all of the meds that we need except for one. This will heal our HP and heal light bleeds. This will let us move on broken legs. This will fix broken legs, not blacked out legs. There's a difference. This will fix fractured legs, not blacked out legs. When your HP goes down to 0 on a limb, is considered blacked out. That's what I mean when I say that. This covers everything except for one thing, and that's heavy bleeds. It is the newest mechanic in Tarkov, and for that we just have the S-Mark bandages. They will stop a single heavy bleed. So that being said, that right there is all of the meds you're going to need at level 1 to have successful raids. You can keep all of these in your container for safety, so if you die you don't lose them. The only thing you need to keep out, obviously if you have a better edition of the game, you get a bigger container, but this is the way I would do it if I was playing. I would only have this S-Mark bandage out because we can't fit it in the alpha. And the good news is, guys, if you run out of any of these meds, you can go right over to Therapist and pick these up for cheap. They do not cost much, especially the S-March. This is why we keep this one outside of the container, because it is actually the cheapest. See, the car kit we can't even buy at level 1. We can trade for it though. The AI2 cheese is 3,600. The splint is 2,600. Bandages are 1949. It's the most efficient thing to put all the meds in your secure container and keep this one out because it's the least expensive. So that's what you want to do. That takes care of our meds. Now, water and food are going to be represented right here, respectively. Here's the water, here's the food levels. One raid should not drain you of these things. You don't usually need to bring food and water with you in a raid. If you hit duffels, if you search around the maps, you should find in food and water pretty easily. So I wouldn't worry about bringing that. That's just going to sink your money. There's no point in bringing food and water every raid. As far as the extra ammo goes, the PS is not too expensive, and I believe at level 1 you can pick this up from Prapper. Sorry, since I'm on a new account, it's making me examine all of the things all over again, and I didn't prepare for this, so I'm very sorry about that. But anyway, you get the point. You can come over to Prapper and pick up more PS ammo if you run out. That's no biggie. You're going to be buying a lot of ammo in this game, so get used to that. Okay, so we've covered the meds that you want to bring with you at level 1. Like I was saying earlier, this is a fantastic level 1 starting kit, but the thing is, I can almost guarantee you that you will go in with this kit and you will die, because it's just not common to survive as a new player in Tarkov. You're going to die, and you're going to die a lot. I want to stress that. That's why this guide is here, to teach you about level 1 loadouts that you can use, because you are not going to keep this one. I guarantee you, you are going to lose it. And so for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff off, because I want to show you guys the level 1 stuff that you can pick up from the traders, because like I said, you are going to die a lot. You're not going to keep this gear they give you in the beginning. It's great gear, but you're going to lose it. So when you lose it, what do? Well, first things first, you want to come over to Prapper, because he's going to sell you a couple of really vital guns. In fact, at level 1, they're the 2 strongest guns you can buy at this time, if you ask me. So what am I talking about? This bad boy right here, it is the SKS for 23,000 rubles. This is a 10-round semi-auto rifle that fires a 7.62 caliber bullet. And as far as the ammo that it takes, we can get the same ammo from Prapper, the 7.62 PS, not to be confused with the 5.45 PS that we have in our inventory already. So the 7.62 PS right here, I'm going to go ahead and pick up about 30 rounds for 2,700 rubles. That brings our total to about 26,000 rubles right there with ammo and gun. And this thing is a killing machine. So right there is already a very cheap budget weapon that I would almost exclusively use at level 1. It is my go-to default default weapon. Just to talk about it a little bit more here, the one you pick up at level 1 comes with an internal 10-round mag, so you just top load it by hitting R. You will load bullet by bullet into the gun. No need to worry about extra magazines. It's cheap, it's effective, and it just gets the job done. This ammo can even pierce some of the higher level armors in the game, so it's just really a solid pick for level 1. Now, of course, we want to get some armor, or at least what we can here at level 1, so let me show you the options we have for that. We have Ragman. He's your resident armor dealer. He's going to be the one to sell you most of the armor you're going to pick up in the game, okay? So as you can see here, at level 1, we don't have a large selection, but we do have some stuff to choose from. I'll start with helmets here. We have 2 options we can actually buy. One that we can barter for with 2 bleach, but we're not going to focus on that because you're not going to find bleach all the time. The stuff you can straight up buy from the traders is your best friend. It's your safest bet. So we have 2 options: a cheap hull pack for 8,000 and a 22,000 SSH helmet. One of these helmets is worse in the game. One of these helmets is the best in the game. This one right here is the better helmet. This one right here is the bad helmet. This hull pack is only an armor class 2. It has a low ricochet chance. That means when you get shot, there's a low chance that the bullet deflects off of your head and you do not die. Armor class 2, like the PACA, is rated for 9mm at best, the weaker stuff, and maybe some buckshot. As far as this SSH helmet goes, we have armor class 3, which is better. It can stop a higher caliber, and we have a ricochet chance of high. That means you're very likely, whenever you get shot in the head, that the bullet bounces off of you and you do not die. So we want to go ahead and pick up one of these helmets at 22,000. They're just a level 1 go-to, the default helmet I would choose every single time that I start as a level 1. Now, going back to Ragman, armor, we don't have many choices. In fact, we have one that we can buy, and that's the PACA. It is what it is. You have to start out with this armor. Everyone does it. It's better than nothing, I will say that. This guy right here is actually a good piece of armor. It is armor class 4, which is the highest we've seen so far at level 1. And this piece of armor is actually a specialized piece of armor, and I'll explain why. It's an armored rig. So what does that mean? It doesn't go on your body armor slot. It goes in the tactical rig slot. So much like the Triton that we had on a little earlier that carries our magazines, ammo, and meds, it fits right here in this slot, but it also offers some armor. So it fills the role of both body armor and tactical rig in one unit. More of these will be available to buy at later levels. Like I was showing you guys, this one here is only trade at level 1. Again, don't expect to get this trade done. It's not exactly easy to go out and find 3 soaps and 4 toilet papers, but just so you guys are aware, that is an option if you somehow manage to scrounge that stuff together. So as you can see, we are left with one single option at level 1 for body armor, and that's going to be the PACA. So that's what we're going to use. It's better than nothing. That's all I'll say about it. Okay, and remember the earpieces I was telling you guys about earlier? They help you hear enemies better at a further distance. Well, we definitely want to pick up some of those if we can. At level 1, we are given the option to buy the GSSH headset. It is only 13,000. That is an incredible value. Now, here's what I'll say about this headset. The sound profile of each headset in the game is different. Some of them are bassier, some of them are more mid-range focused or more treble focused. They all sound different. You'll know what I mean whenever you try them out. The GSSH is widely considered to sound not so pleasant to the ears. It works, it does the job, it lets you hear enemy footsteps better, but it's pretty much everyone's least favorite headset. The contacts that I had on a second ago are a pretty good option. Unfortunately, you cannot buy them at level 1, so after you lose that first pair, you're gonna have to resort to GSSHs or nothing at all. I recommend trying out the GSSH and seeing if you like it. It's gonna sound weird, but it will help you hear better when you get used to it. So we have our headset, we have our helmet, body armor, gun, ammo, most of the meds we need, minus the S march that I'll throw right there in the pockets. What else do we need? A backpack is something you always want to bring because looting and getting out with that loot is one of the best ways in this game to make money. So you want to do that as much as possible. You never want to skimp on a backpack. At level 1, we have the option of buying this sling. Nothing special about it, kind of small, but it is something better than nothing. You do have the option of trading 2 level 1 dog tags. If you don't know, every player you kill drops a dog tag. Ragman will trade level 1 or above dog tags for this bigger backpack. That is a great value early on. I do recommend it if you come across 2 dog tags. Totally worth it. For now, we have the sling. Like I said, it's a bit of a small boy, but it's our option that we have. As far as rigs go, when you run out of these amazing Triton rigs, you're going to have to use the Spiritist System Bank Robber rig. Nothing special again, but it does offer some more space to carry loot, and that's the biggest part. Whenever you get into a good raid and you actually find loot, you want to be able to carry it out and survive with it. I know it can be frustrating to bring in all this gear and die, but I always recommend bringing space to carry loot, because when you survive with loot, that's when you're going to make a lot of your money back. You need to bring bags and rigs to be able to carry stuff. Ordinarily, if we were using the AK, for example, we'd need a rig as well to carry the magazines, because we'll be swapping mags out from the rig. With the SKS, you can just have the ammo, it has the internal magazine, and you can just top load the gun, so you don't even need a rig, but it does help carry more loot out, so that's why I recommend it there. So this right here would be around my go-to level 1 loadout. I'm going to explain a couple more things here in detail and then show you guys some more gun options that we have. But as far as armor goes, at level 1, this is it. This is the big deal as far as level 1 stuff goes. And now we'll be able to get some better stuff pretty soon. But right out of the get-go, right out the gate, level 1, this is your best bet. From what money can buy right now at level 1, this is the best, this is the best, this is the best, and so is this and this, if you can believe it. Real quick, I do want to dive back into the meds here and explain one thing. When you are taking damage and you're in a battle and you need to heal up, doing it like this is going to cause you to have to hit tab, go into your inventory, and right click this stuff. It's a little inefficient, and if you're right in the middle of a battle, it's not going to work out so well. So when you do get a little more comfortable with things and you want to have meds more readily available to you, what you can do is stick the med in your rig or pocket and then click on it, left click, hold down left click, and then hit a number key. That's going to hotkey the med, so whenever you're in a battle and you need to heal, you can reach up. You can do this with all of your meds no matter what, doesn't matter. Any of the meds can be hotkeyed if they're in your rig or pocket. So once you get a little more comfortable with the game and you want meds readily available so you can instantly heal in battle, you can start putting that stuff out in your rig. But like I said, at level 1, this is going to be the safest, most secure, most efficient way to do it, because you won't lose the stuff that's in here. Okay, so at this point, I'd go in. This is literally my level 1 loadout. I would go in just like this and start playing the game. I do want to show you guys a couple more options that you have as far as guns, because there are more options. I want to head back over to Prapper here and talk to you guys about this gun, the Mosin rifle. It's one of the most notorious in all of Tarkov. This gun right here is a bolt action sniper rifle. It has a 5-round internal mag. So same thing, just like the SKS, you don't need to bring magazines. You just have to buy the ammo and you can top load it. So I'm going to pick up 20 rounds here and then show you guys, you can do the exact same thing as we did with the SKS. Just put in the ammo in your pocket and then there you go. You wouldn't even have to bring, you know, a rig with you if you didn't want to, but again, for holding more loot, it's always valuable to bring that extra space. The Mosin here is one of the strongest weapons in the game. It packs an absolute punch. It has the most destructive bullet you can buy at level 1. It will go through some good high-class armors and it will just do massive damage if you can manage to hit the enemy. The downside here is obviously it's a bolt action, so you know you have to fire it and then, you know, cock it back and then reload a bullet, fire again. It's a 5-round internal mag, so you don't have much room to work with there. So this is a heavy hitter but with high risk. You see what I'm talking about? Whereas the SKS 10-round mag fires as fast as you can pull the trigger. It's a safer bet, it's just a little less destructive. This one here, bolt action, 5-round, more destructive. If you get a headshot or a good body shot on somebody with this thing, you're doing some big damage. The problem is if you start missing, things can quickly go downhill when using this bolt action rifle. But these two guns are at level 1 the strongest options you have to take down guys that have been playing the white, that are higher geared, higher leveled. These are great options to take down guys that have already been playing the game a lot longer than you have. Real quick, what I'm going to do for y'all is go ahead and hop into I'm going to throw the contacts back on as well. I'm going to go ahead and hop into an offline raid and show you guys these two weapons and how destructive they can actually be. So what I'm going to do is go here to my PMC loadout, hop into factory, 1500 hours, that is 3 p.m. there will be daylight. Go offline mode, enable PvE. AI difficulty I'll keep on medium. AI amount I will keep on high because I want there to be AI so I can show you guys how effective these weapons are. And then I'm going to hit next and then go in. So real quick, I know I'm getting a little off track because this isn't level 1 loadouts, but I just want to be thorough. If you guys are not familiar with the offline mode in Tarkov, it is just as it sounds. You can load into a raid, you can put in AI, you can explore, you can wander around, and it is just like a real raid, except if you die or leave the raid, you don't lose the gear that you have on you. You obviously don't get actual experience for this. Nothing counts. It is a fake reality where you can go in and test things out, but that's just what offline mode is. It's perfect for exploring maps, getting used to maps, using your gun, seeing how you like them, testing out new guns. Whatever you want to do in offline, do it all day long. It is the perfect way to test things out. Okay, perfect. You guys should be able to hear the game now. I'll start out with the SKS actually, because that's the first one we were talking about. Like I said, 10 round internal mag. I hit R. It starts top loading the ammo that is in my pocket, just like that. There you go. We have 10 rounds loaded in. It's got the internal mag. We're good to go. Let me show you guys real quick how this thing handles. It's not the best looking when you're looking at it from the rear sight, but it will do the job, guys. I promise you. So let me go ahead and find the scav I heard over here. I can hear him right out there. He just came in that door. One shot to the face. Most guns will take an enemy down with, you know, a face shot, but it's as simple as that, guys. Again, we're in offline, so none of this stuff counts, but this is a great time to discuss how I would approach actually being in a real raid if this were real and I had the opportunity to loot here. Sorry, this scab just came in. Let me take care of him. And also, let me show you guys how fast this gun can actually fire if I try. There you go. There was just some body shots, and he's down as well. So that's the SKS for you. Didn't hear that guy at all, but no problem with this gun. We also need to remember to reload often. Again, it's going to take a minute to reload because it's top loader. But this gun, like I said, cheap and destructive. As you guys can see, it's taking down scavs with no problems. Now, what I want to quickly go over, just to share with you guys, is how I would approach looting anything in a real raid, and how you can, without knowing what anything does, how you can know if it's better for you or not. Starting with armor. If you guys are unfamiliar with a piece of armor that you come across, here's how you can check to see if you should put it on. I'm wearing this armor class 3 armor, high ricochet chance. If I were to look at this, I check the armor class. Is it higher or equivalent to what I'm using? Yes, take it. Ricochet chance. Is it higher or equivalent to what I'm using? Yes, take it. If this had said armor class 2, ricochet chance medium, I would know that what I'm wearing is better. All armor can be looked at the same exact way. If I found body armor, my pack is armor class 2. If he was wearing armor class 3, we'd put that on. Also check the durability. If mine's at 50 out of 50, it's full durability. If his was armor class 3, 50 out of 50, absolutely wear that. If his is armor class 3, 0 out of 50, if we zeroed it out, don't take it. It has no protection. That's how you can always figure out what armor is going to be better in a raid for you. So level 1, you don't have many options to buy. So anytime you come across a higher class armor, take it. Put it on right away and use it while you're in that raid. Then as far as rigs, pockets, and backpacks go, it's very simple. Is their rig more spacious than mine? Yes, mine has 8 slots. His has 12. What we're going to do, drop my rig, put on his. Boom, we have a better piece of armor, a better rig with more space. Same thing with the backpack. How many slots does my backpack have? 6. His has 9. Boom, we do the same thing. Drop my bag, put on his. Just some quick tips that you guys need to know, so that way when you're in a raid, you can know what you should be taking. For the bag and the rig, bigger is better. For the armor, higher armor class, higher ricochet chance, always better. And last thing to know, as far as guns go, obviously, if I didn't have 2 guns on me already, I would definitely have taken this gun, because obviously you want to bring out as many guns and armors as possible. So, you know, if you always take a secondary if you have the slot to do so. And in this instance, I'd absolutely recommend taking this helmet as well. Perfect level 1 helmet. We get out with it. We have 2 helmets to use instead of 1. So if we die with one, we have a second to use. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about the Mosin now. 5 rounds internal, top loaded, just the same way as the SKS. No mags required. Let me show you guys how destructive this thing can be, and why I say that you need to be careful when you're using it, because it's high power but also high risk. Let me go find a scav here. There's one right up there. Missed. Got him there. Got him there. All right, that's 5 shots. Got to reload. Make sure I'm behind cover. And you see, if this were an actual fight, the enemy knows I'm using a Mosin. They can hear me reloading right now. You see how this could quickly become dangerous, but since this is AI, we're offline. They don't push, and they let me do that. So Mosin, just as destructive, goes through some good armors. Definitely want to be careful for it. You can see there, I hit him thorax. It didn't actually take him out. Need 2 shots to do so. So that's why it's high risk, is because it's not always a 1-shot kill. Sometimes they're going to have a chance to fight back, and that's why this bolt action can be dangerous. Best use at range, best use when the enemy doesn't know you're there. Preferably get a headshot before they have a chance to react. Side note, as you can see, hip fire point fire, whatever you want to call it, when you're not ADS, is a very effective tool in this game. Definitely recommend it. It's obviously something you'll get better at over time, but it is definitely more efficient in this game than any other. All right, so I'm gonna back out of that raid so we can go back to the main inventory, and I can show you guys a couple more weapons that are perfect for level 1s. But I hope you guys can see the SKS and the Thorax are big contenders, and they're basically all I'm gonna be using at level 1 because they're so effective, so cheap, especially the SKS, and you just don't need mags. It's just a perfect level 1 loadout gun. Okay, so as far as secondary alternatives that we have to the high-powered rifles, high-powered SKS and Mosin I was just talking about, we have the Keter, which we can buy from Prapper. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up one of those now, and then we go to Peacekeeper and we can buy the HK MP5. It's kind of like a little short MP5. Peacekeeper does deal in dollars, so we need to go ahead and buy some dollars from him so we can buy the weapon. I'm also going to pick up some 20 round magazines for the MP5 here. We do have the option of using the 30s if you want to splurge a little bit. That may not be a bad idea. In fact, for this video, let's just go ahead and pick up some of these so I can show you how that handles. He also conveniently sells the 9x19 PST that you will shoot out of the MP5, so go ahead and pick up some of that as well, and then we're done with Peacekeeper. Now head on back to Prapper because I actually need to buy some mags for this Keter. Sorry, I forgot to do that. As far as the Keter goes, we can actually only buy 20 rounders extra from Prapper. It's a standard 9x18 PM 20 rounder. I'll go ahead and pick up a few of those as well as the ammo. Don't get it confused. The Keter uses a 9x18, so you just want to be sure to buy the 9x18. 9x19 will not go in a gun, so go ahead and buy some 9x18 for the Keter. We throw these two guns off as well as the ammo. Throw on the Keter, throw on the MP5, and then go and start loading up the mag. So this is where, guys, you are going to need a rig. These are going to use actual magazines, so you will need the rig and pockets to be able to swap out the mags. Go and throw the MP5 mags in there. Go and throw the Keter mags in here. These are two full auto variants, two full auto options you have. They're cheap. They're available at level 1, but let's talk about why they're good, why they're bad. So the Keter, obviously 21,000, extra mag is 1,600, ammo is super cheap, very, very cheap. Only issue is, as with SMGs in any game, range and power. They're full auto, they're great for close combat, they're great for easy headshots, but they lack range and power. The bullet does not do enough on its own, unlike the Mosin and SKS where the bullets singular will do damage. The SMGs are meant to be sprayed and lots of hits. It's the same way with the MP5. You have to spray them and do a lot of damage with multiple bullets to take them down. Obviously, unless you get a cheeky headshot, then they'll go down right away. And then obviously range being the other issue. You can't fire this thing at distance and expect to do big damage. So I am going to head back in the factory, go offline, enable the scabs again, and then go in here to show you guys how the Keter and the MP5 operate, and talk a little bit about how I would use them as a level 1, because it's a bit different with the other guns. With the other guns I was showing you before, SKS and Mosin, you want to be at range. You really want to have the element of surprise. With these two guns, you can be a little more aggressive, and you need to get closer to your enemy, and I'll show you how that's done here in a second. So let me start out by showing you the Keter here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm absolutely surrounded already. I'm gonna show you guys how this thing operates. As you can see, not very strong. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this Vaseline. I'm concussed, I'm fractured, I'm wounded, I'm bleeding, all of the above. This is actually hilarious. So, spray and pray. We want to be as close as possible to the enemy with these guns. These are also excellent hipfire guns. Hipfire, point fire, however you want to say it. Go ahead and walk in here and show you guys how effective the hipfire can actually be, because that is going to be your greatest ally when it comes to these SMGs. You want to be close to the enemy, like I was saying, and that is how you're going to be most effective with these weapons. And real quick side lesson for you guys, my leg is actually blacked out and fractured, all of the above. Very unfortunate. I don't have the surgery kit you need to repair a blacked out leg, so every time I run on this leg, I am going to take damage to the rest of my body. But as you can see, I still have full mobility and the option to run as well. That's thanks to the Vaseline that I popped. That allows you to run on blacked out and fractured legs. And like I said, the Vaseline's a 5-minute painkiller, so I do still have plenty of time to get to a safe location, get out of the raid, whatever I have to do. But I think you guys get the point of the Keter. It does what an SMG does. And that's really all there is to it. Now let's show you guys the little sawed-off short barrel MP5 here. It's essentially the same thing. You're gonna have 20 and 30 round options for it. It does have a little bit of an initial kick, which is exactly why, if you can help it, you want to get close and do some hip fire. Okay, so I know there's a scab down there. He is yelling at me. I'm gonna try and get as close as I can. Hip fire and take him out. That's how I would usually use SMGs. In the beginning, I'm gonna go ahead and say most of you guys should probably be trying to aim at your target. Hip fire is something that's super effective, but you're probably gonna mess it up a lot in the beginning because you don't have that kind of mental image at where your bullets are actually gonna go. You know what I'm saying? After a lot of playing, after a lot of time and practice, you're gonna have a better idea and you'll be able to hip fire more efficiently. But in the beginning, you might just want to go ahead and aim as much as you can, but definitely practice hip fire, practice getting used to that. Go offline, practice on scavs all day long. It's a highly effective tool. I can't stress it enough. And no other game is hip fire as valuable and useful. PUBG, COD, none of it. All your bullets in those games, when you're not aiming, they tend to just go left and right at 90-degree angles. But in this game, where your gun is aiming, that is where your bullets go. That's the Keter, that's the MP5. They're pretty straightforward, not much more to explain there. I'm gonna hop out of this raid because I am super injured and we need to go back to the main menu anyway. All right, and now the last thing I want to show you guys before I kind of wrap this up is the ultra budget loadout for level 1. And now this isn't something I recommend doing often, but if times get tough, which they inevitably will, you sometimes want to go in with a budget kit. You don't want to spend that much money because you know you have trouble making money. Totally understandable. I do want to say if you have gear, use it because that is your best chance at surviving. But obviously sometimes we lose all of our gear and we need to go budget commando. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy this PM pistol 9x18 from Prapper. It's 6,500 rubles. We'll go ahead and pick up one extra mag for 1,000 rubles here. It's a 9x18 8 PM rounds mag. Pick up one of those, and it actually uses the same ammo we just put into the Keter. So like for example, this run I'll go ahead and buy 16 rounds. That'd be 800 rubles. So about 8,300 rubles for this gun, mag, and ammo loadout here. We'll go and take all this old stuff off. So we have our pistol that comes with one internal mag. We have the extra mag we bought, and then the 16 rounds of ammo that should be somewhere around here. For this example, I'm going to show you, it's not just the gun that we're going to go budget with. We're actually going to go budget on everything. And so in this example, we are hurting for money. We want to go budget, but we still want to be able to survive and come out on top. So what are we going to do? Well, we're not going to bring this stuff. Again, I don't recommend doing this often, guys. This is only a kind of last resort stuff. I always recommend bringing in as much gear as possible, but I wanted to show this to you guys because it's important that you guys know that you can do this and still succeed. Okay, so this is it here. Let's talk about our budget loadout. We have the PM pistol with 2 mags, 1 backup. We have the S-Mark, we have the sling, and that's it. Everything else is in a secure container. We can't lose it. We've effectively only paid for the weapon, which I believe was 8,300 rubles. The S-Mark, which is about 1,000. So let's go 9,300. And then the sling, which from Ragman retails for about 2,000. So I believe we spent about 11,000 rubles on this kit. And now I'm going to actually go into an online raid and show you how, as a level 1 with this budget build, you can become successful. Like I said, I'm going to go into an actual online raid and show you guys what I would do to get from this low budget level 1 loadout to better gear in a real world situation. So I'm going to go to what I recommend everyone start out on, the customs map. It is the place where all your beginning tasks in the game take place. It's usually the level 1 hangout. That being said, you can have any number of any level of players on here, so don't think it's actually safe or anything like that, but it is the normal go-to level 1 spot. And I didn't talk about this. I'm going to mention this now because I think it's important to say insurance in this game and what that actually does. So the TLDR is insurance is when you insure your gear, like it's giving me the option to here for 1,105 rubles. I can insure this PM pistol and the sling. When you insure this gear, if you go into the raid and you die, and no one takes your gear, the PM pistol and the sling. You will get this back in the mail system from Prapper in 24 to 36 hours. So instead of buying a whole new 8,000 ruble pistol, 1,000 ruble sling, I just spent 1,000 rubles, and if no one takes this stuff, I will get it back for free. I think you can understand how this could be really effective and why you should be insuring a lot of your stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, as a level 1 with this gear you're using, you need to be insuring most of your stuff, and I'll explain why. Anyone that gets past level 1 and can start buying any gear at all that is better than what we start out with is no longer, typically 99% of the time, going to take this level 1 crap. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. It's crap. The sling is the smallest, most useless bag that you can, you have to use at level 1, but as soon as you can get away from the sling, you don't pick them up anymore. Same thing with the PM pistol. It's just the least effective pistol in the game, and if you can help it, people will not take it. I'll even go as far as to say the PACA is the same way. The SKS I was showing you guys earlier, that stuff just does not get picked up by anyone that is past level 1. So when you insure that stuff, you can most likely rest assured that you will get it back in insurance the next day. So instead of spending thousands of rubles on new gear, you can just get that stuff back in insurance and save yourself a lot of money, time, and hassle. Level 1 stuff is not that great, so it will come back to you in insurance because people tend to not take it. That's what I'm trying to say here. So make sure you insure as much as you can in the beginning. You will not regret it. I'm going to talk to you guys about 2 ways that we can play this round out. 1, we can try and loot up, get some items worth money and get out to sell. 2, we can try and PvP and get better gear and money that way. I'm going to attempt to do a mix of both here. I'm going to try and find some valuable loot that we can make money with. And I'm also going to try and upgrade my gear a little bit. And the best way that we're going to use this little pistol to do that is by taking out scavs. Scavs are going to have better gear for us that we can throw on right away. And all we need to do is get one good headshot on a scav and we'll have all of their gear, all of their loot, and just be set. This 11,000 ruble kit will get us better gear and just progress us. And if we do happen to die, no harm done. You spent virtually no money, and you could just re-gear up with the same kit, hopefully, and go right back in. So I'm going to let this load in, and then I'll walk you guys through it once we're actually in the raid here. All right, so here we are. We just loaded into customs. I am on one side of the map here. I'll hopefully throw up a graphic and show you guys exactly where I spawn here. But what we're going to do is backtrack, hug the outskirts of the map, and try and get over here to a place where I know there's going to be some loot for us. There's a duffel bag we can go and hit up here. Now, the thing about customs, the thing about Tarkov, you need to know is that you are probably going to spawn very close to enemies. I'm thinking there's going to be some enemies coming from over there in the boiler section. So I'm going to go ahead and wait here a second and try and play sneaky and just grab some of this stuff here while I wait to see what's going on. And just to put these things into perspective for you, how easy it can be to make money in this game. Once you hit level 10, you gain access to the flea market. It's a player-driven market where you put anything up for sale and you can buy anything in the game. These caps, I know for a fact, sell for over 10,000 rubles. These Ps will do the same thing. The SAW SKS Tapco, a grip will probably go for 5 to 10k. And this thing vendors for a few thousand as well. Remember, we spent 11,000 on our kit. This is already paid for. What I'm actually going to do here is take out this splint because I know it only cost me about 2,000 rubles. And I'm going to put in this SKS grip because I believe I can vendor it for more. That's how you can use your secure container to make money as well. It's going to take some time for you to start learning how much these things cost and what's worth it and what's not. But this splint is cheap. This, I believe I can sell for more than this is worth. Buy this back and profit. Anyway, like I was saying, just wanted to make sure no one was coming out from that direction. Go ahead and move out. There seems to be some rain, yet no actual rain. I'm not really sure what's going on there. That's vaguely annoying. It's bright and sunny outside. There shouldn't be any rain. But now I just want to play this a little safe, or as safe as I can. Check my corners. Try and get out of any big open areas here. Now, obviously, I know where I'm going. You guys are not going to know at level 1 as a new player, but that's why we have resources like the Wikipedia for Tarkov. There's maps of customs that are going to teach you everything you need to know, where you're going, where you are. This building here is a very, very valuable location. There's a ton of loot spawns here. So I want to go ahead and hop in here and try and find some stuff that's going to be worth my time and worth my money. I'm going to try and move quick here because I don't know if there are enemies nearby. Check some of this stuff. Okay, we got pliers, more pliers. Actually, I have a weapons crate here. Okay, it has a flash hider. Go ahead and grab that for now. 406mm barrel, a locking mount. Okay, we're gonna keep on trucking, moving through. My first objective here is to try and find something I can stick in my alpha container that's gonna make me big money. Sugar on the flea market I know goes for good money. Right now I'm gonna drop this and pick up the sugar because I know it's more valuable. We have some more over here. That's really awesome. We have some milk, which will restore energy and hydration, and then 2 jackets here. Jackets are very valuable loot resources. They can spawn any key in the game, including keys that cost you 4 million rubles. So always check jackets. I'm gonna get a little dangerous here. Go down this metal staircase. Now, there could be enemies in here with me right now. We'll run back here, check these shelves for any loot. We have a car med kit, so it's the same kit that I have right here. I just found here. Now I'm gonna run up this staircase. More loot to be found right in here. Hopefully no enemies. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna close this door so we have a little more safety. Check the ground here for electronics. Check these computers as well. And I know this may seem like it's getting a little monotonous, but I'm gonna show you guys why. I'm gonna explain why I'm doing this and why it's important that I show you guys how this operates and how this all works. Both these items as well on the flea market above 10,000. So you can see it really doesn't take much to be able to pay off this kit, and that's why it's so effective as a level 1. We got this, which is worth great money. All of this stuff is worth really good money. And as you can see, this is kind of where, remember earlier I was saying you want to bring as much space with you as possible. And I know we're on a budget kit. Obviously there's a reason we brought what we did, but man, if I had a rig right now, I could carry this out. This is 50K at least on the flea market. This bulb is 10K for this. I think you can start to see why having as much space as often as possible is the best way to go about it. I'm gonna do something a little crazy here and drop the splint, pick up these elite pliers, and keep on searching these boxes here to find something that I know is going to vendor for a lot of money back at the traders. Actually, I'm sorry, it just dawned on me. I'm going to get real crazy here and drop these pliers because I know they're not worth that much. Put the Cyclone in my secure container. So if I die, I get to keep this. And now what I want to do is go ahead and move out and try and find a scab to show you guys how we can upgrade our gear. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, if I die, I make money. Because of what I have in this container, I can vendor it and make more money than I spent on this whole kit. So essentially this kit is paid for. It's time to try and go get some better gear. I'm going to avoid a lot of the looting from this point on as to not take up any more of your time than I have to. Like I said, this kit is paid for. I'll explain that after we die or get out. But for now, I want to try and find some scavs to show you guys how you can actually upgrade from this super low tier budget kit. Obviously, there are going to be enemies around as well. I need to watch out for, not just AI players as well. And I figure I'd just throw this in the video because you should know about it. There's this little shortcut here on customs. You need a key to get through that building. In case you didn't know, gunshot there kind of freaked me out. You can hop on this car, hop on this porta potty, jump over the fence. No key required. Pro tip for y'all. Okay, so I'm going to try and actually avoid that gunfire because I know that is a player, an actual PMC. Again, my objective here is to find a scav if possible because I want to take him out and grab his gear. I am running essentially right through the middle of the map, more or less danger all around me, but I know from experience that I can hopefully make my way through right around here and avoid anything too crazy. Or gunfire off to my right. Always want to be careful with bushes as well because they're very loud, very easy to hear people running through bushes. But right now I'm just making my way down the center of the map. Like I said, pretty much running right through the middle from one end to the other. I started on one end, making my way to the other because that's where our extracts are going to be. Good rule of thumb, you usually spawn on one end of the map, your extracts will be on the other side. This little ice cream shack is, oh, just got shot from behind. That little construction thing right there, there is scavs that usually like to sit up there. That's where I believe I just got shot from. So I'm gonna do my best to avoid that as well as I can. In this little ice cream shack, a shotgun can spawn right down here. More or less useless information, but I just wanted to include that. So like I said, there's gonna be a scav over to my left. I'm gonna try and duck, dodge, and weave and not get hit. And there's actually a scav behind us as well now. So we are completely surrounded. A little safer for me to avoid this situation completely and try and find an isolated scav, one that's much easier to take out. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, that scav on the construction cannot see me anymore. Oh, we actually have a dead scav here. Do want to be cautious because there could be enemies lurking. You never know when this guy was killed, and the guy who killed him could be around here. But real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and grab his stuff, examine the gun, throw that on, examine his idea chest rig, throw that on, examine the backpack, should be bigger than what I'm using now. Quickly toss all my stuff in his bag, dump my bag, grab his, and then last thing, check the pockets to see if he has anything in there. He has some food, throw that in my backpack. Scav activity to my left here. He just ran up on me. Scavs are kind of dumb though if you know how to work them. Not sure where he just ran to. I'm gonna switch to the gun I just picked up. Do an Alt-T to check the mag. It's full. You can see at the bottom right. It's got a full magazine. Make sure it's on full auto with B. Find the scav I just saw. I can see feet right there. What did I say? Scavs are dumb. I'm gonna get close. We're gonna hip fire full auto. Simple as that. The scav has even more gear for me. We have a helmet now. We have a respirator, which is cosmetic, and a quest item later on. A secondary gun, some more food here, and a scav vest, which is about the same, smaller, sorry, than the idea vest here, with the rounds for the Taz shotgun. So there we go. There's food in the vest as well. Guys, we have a ton of gear now. A lot of stuff we did not have a second ago. This is one of the optional extracts on customs. It is usually indicated as being open by this light being on. It is not open right now. I'm gonna do something a little dangerous. Run down this slope because my 100% guaranteed extracts are gonna be on this side of the map. One thing to note about this area, it's kind of a sniper's favorite place to be. Lots of open area up on this train track here. Not much I can do if I start to get shot. But I am going to try and make my way across, strafing left and right as I move, so if a sniper is trying to shoot me down, I can make it that much harder for him to get the one shot off on me he needs. Stamina's out, so I have to walk here. We're going to keep up the strafe, always moving left and right, so that way if there is someone behind me or in front of me I don't see, he has to line up a headshot and is more likely to miss. Once again, I'm going to put up the graphic on the screen of where I am right now, give you guys an idea of how I've traveled across the map here. I'm going to take a cheeky little jump across this fence. A little safer to be on this side rather than go down the road directly. Try and stay left. Try and keep cover to my left here, so I only have to worry about 3 sides of me. Keep it a little safer. There's a scav or a player right there. Not sure if he saw me just now. I'm gonna walk to get my stamina back. Try and peek. I don't see him anymore. It could be a player. Yeah, I don't see him. In this instance, guys, I'm going to try and make my way over here because this is my extract. If that is a player, there's no reason for me to fight him with all this gear I have on me right now. This is the extract, as you can see. I'm going to lay down here. There we go. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is not like my runs. Every time I go into the game, there's 10 PMCs geared to the teeth. They're full of gear, and I can't survive anything at all. Like, you just got streamer servers. You are lucky. It's not actually this way. Yes, I was actually expecting to die in this run. I'll be honest with you. It was an easy run. There was not that much gunfire, and there was no PMCs. We saw no enemies whatsoever. Barely even saw a scav, mostly just at the end there. As you can see, going in with that little budget kit, 11,000 ruble kit, we came out with the mother load. We have armor, we have better guns, we have food, we have things to sell. And I want to take it back here. In the very beginning, I found this Cyclone battery. I said I knew this was worth good money, so I stuck it right here in the secure container. Like I said, if we had died, we would still have this stuff right here. Let me show you why this budget kit is so effective. So we have the Cyclone and the SKS little pistol grip there that we would definitely have survived with because, you know, in the container, can't lose it. Boom, 51,000 rubles to therapist, guys. That pays for 5 more of these budget pistol kits, 5 more opportunities to go in and do what I just did with that low of a risk. And then as far as the pistol grip goes, we'll try out mechanic here. It's only 1,500. I was a little mistaken with how much it would vendor for. I know on the flea market, like I said, you get that at level 10. It would be worth way more on the flea market. But it is what it is, guys. We just paid for 5 loadouts of the budget kit, and there you go. So I think that officially wraps up my level 1 loadout video. Final thoughts here. Like I said, the SKS and the Mosin, heavy hitters, strong, effective, and cheap. We have the MP5 and the Keter, cheap as well, good for close combat, lighter guns, but full auto capability. You know, like I said, at level 1, you can buy the GSSH headphones, you can buy the SSH and the pack of armor. That is all you have access to. So that's going to be your best bet in the beginning. Mainly, guys, at level 1, your objective is going to be learn the game, get used to the mechanics, go in there and grab whatever you can and get out with it. Once you start to level up, you're going to get better stuff. And as you can see, as soon as you get into rage, you're going to find better stuff. I found this full auto PPSH. It's a wonderful weapon. Here's a shotgun I picked up as well. Rig, backpack, and just good materials that I know will make me money. So that's really your objective in the beginning, guys. Use what you have. Use the stuff that I just told you about. Go in there and get some better stuff off scavs. Try and be sneaky. Try and get some loot. Try and get out alive. You don't always always need to go after the fights. There was some gunfire in that round that I just completely avoided and tried to get past. I recommend you do the same in the beginning. Just get used to the game and learn how everything works before you start trying to go winning fights in PvP like that. But I think this officially wraps it up. I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. And guys, I stream on Twitch all the time. If you have any questions, if you're new, if you just want to hang out with us, come over to twitch.tv/finestxi. I can help you out there more and more every day. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.